Hey friends, thanks for coming back for another installment of the 31 Days of Samhain. Today I wanted to talk about prayer because a lot of times, especially as it gets closer to Samhain, there are a lot more folks that are making an effort to communicate not only with the dead, but their patrons, their gods, goddesses, deities, but also ancestors along the lines of not just our physical ancestors of blood and bone, but our ancestors of culture and our ancestors of lineage. And in truth, we are all related. You know, we're all part of this big human race. So I wanted to talk just for a little bit today about the importance of prayer, especially as it speaks to Samhain. So whenever we pray, this is an effort for us to be in contact with spirit or guides or teachers, in short, whoever we're talking to out there. So the words that we choose, one, need to be really clear, with really clear, focused intent. And a prayer is different from just like spending time talking to deity. Like, I know that there's several of us out there that sometimes it's like you just have this conversation with spirit, which is different from prayer. Prayer, you go in with an intention, you try to be very clear, and you essentially put your heart out there. Not that you don't when you're just talking to spirit too. But I wanted to talk a little bit about prayers as they relate to ancestors. Pardon me, I'm a little froggy today. So there's a few prayers I wanted to share with you, and we're going to talk about why I picked these. The first one comes out of the Raven Grimassi book, Communing with the Ancestors. Very appropriate for this time of year. And the prayer that I wanted to share with you is very short. It's called the Prayer to the Ancestors. Ancestors, we are of one bone, we are of one blood, we are of one spirit. Come, spirit rider, and together we will see each other's world. Come, spirit rider, and fetch me. Take me to the places of my ancestors. Come, spirit rider, come and place me in the visions that open my mind. Fetch me to the starry realms and return me illuminated with their light. Now, this speaks a lot also to path working, which we talked about in the previous video. So again, that's just an example of how you can kind of like start to open that communication. The next one comes out of a book that is near and dear to my heart. This is a reissue of two smaller books that were put together, and there's also more prayers added to this. It's the Big Book of Pagan Prayer and Ritual, and I know I'm going to say his name wrong, and my apologies. It's Cesar Sereth. I've talked to this gentleman on Facebook. He still writes prayers to this day, and a lot of times he will post rituals and things that he's done online and practices a Proto-Indo-European approach. I believe that's what he calls it. But like this talks about the role of prayer yesterday and today, hidden structures of prayers, and that's something you don't hear a lot about. There is a structure to prayer, especially when it's done for a specific reason. I like that he covers how to pray both with and without words, and there's a few rituals and things in there too. I wanted to read to you a short prayer out of this book. Actually, I believe there's two in here I wanted to share with you. This one is to Hearn, and he has the prayers sectioned out into seasons and specific reasons you might be praying. So this falls under the Samhain Festival of the Dead, and it's to Hearn. Winding your horn, you come, O Hearn, the company of the dead traveling behind you, the shadow band, the Samhain night. In the wind among the branches we hear your call. We hear it, having waited faithfully, having waited patiently, for you to bring them here. Come and sit, Hearn, with them gathered round, on the ready throne we have established for you, and eat with us tonight, all of you here. And that reflects also back to the idea of the dumb supper or the communal supper. Just like when people pass away, and then everyone goes someplace and you eat, you have a meal together. That's also the idea that you're sharing that meal with people that have passed. So I particularly liked that prayer for that specific reason. And here's another part. This is one to the ancestors. It also falls under the Samhain category. As our beginnings are in the ancestors, so the beginning of the year is with this Samhain. As we welcome the new year at Samhain, so we welcome the ancestors. We invite you to us on this Samhain night, this year's beginning, that year's end, to join our table, blessed dead, source of our beginning, promise of our end. We welcome you, the honored dead, whose lives now over led to ours. Welcome and greetings for those gathered here. And there's more that goes on with that, but I kind of just wanted to share the beginning part. But this is a huge body of work when it comes to prayers, and there are prayers for everything in here. But this is somebody that I've really appreciated his work for a while now. Lastly, I also wanted to touch, maybe I don't need my glasses for this. I think I'll keep them. This last one is a prayer, pardon me, that we put out at our Blessed Dead shrine here in the shop. So when you come in, just head for the back window. It's on the right side of the wall. And we have pictures of those in spirit. You're welcome to leave your own picture. If you don't pick it up, we will pack it away into our regular group of pictures that we bring out every year. But if you'd like, we do have a prayer there for you to take if you would like to have it at home. And I'm going to read that for you real quick. Prayer for the ancestors, the blessed dead. Hear me, Blessed Mother. Hear me, Blessed Father. I call to the ancestors beyond the veil. I call to those who formed me. I call to those who loved me, both family of blood and bone and family of heart and bond. Hear me now. I am grateful to you for your lessons of bounty and loss, of happiness and sorrow, of bright sunny days and dark starless nights. I carry these lessons with me always. Ancestors of my lineage, I reach through space and time to call to you. Ancestors of culture, of race and tradition, assist me on my path. Continue to bring forth information to me to progress, to use, and to share. Ancestors of lineage, stand not behind me, but next to me and within my heart. For family, for ancestors, for all, I give thanks. So mote it be. This is just one of my favorite prayers. I drag this out every Samhain. Drag is a bad word. I bring this out every Samhain, and there's always copies, so if you guys would like copies of those, feel free to take one when you're in the store. So again, there's several reasons why prayer is important. It keeps that